Oh, good, thanks. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call to order the Coastal Resources Management Council's Rights of Way Subcommittee to order. Today is Tuesday, August 25, 2026. I would ask that the record reflect the subcommittee members that are present here this evening. We're going right to Leah. All right, first on our agenda will be a presentation from Leah Feldman. So the floor is yours.
Fantastic, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm going to provide just a bit of a snapshot of the longer presentation I'll be making for the full council this evening. I'm going to provide a quick overview for the subcommittee as to the sort of content of the longer presentation later this evening. So as to not worry you too much and give you the same information twice. Ryan, do you mind turning the...
Is it behind us?
It is, which is, I now realize, a little annoying. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
Those last meetings, you're fine. I'll go to the call. You're fine.
Here we go. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be giving a longer presentation to the full council, but just for the subcommittee, I wanted to point you to just a handful of sort of pertinent pieces of information for your awareness as we move forward. The couple of things I want to note for you all, the core activities of the right-of-way program, the public access program of the agency remain the same. They are the sort of finding and designation of rights of ways throughout the state. There are two main rights of ways that we are focused on right now as an agency. And those are the Spring Avenue extension right of way in Westerly and the Buttonwoods extension, the Buttonwoods right of way in Warwick. The Spring Avenue meetings are already underway. We've had a number of them over the last couple of years. We are in the midst of finding locations for the Buttonwoods hearing, which will happen in Warwick early this fall. While those two things are happening, we are hoping to continue our long-standing process of finding and designating existing rights of ways. That happens through our relationships with municipalities. There are a number of those that we are working on in particular. I'm going to bring us out to those. So there are three rights of ways that sort of rose to the top of a larger list of rights of ways that we have in queue. We have, probably 20 or 25 rights of ways that we're looking at right now for potential designation in the future. The ones that we have isolated here that I have in front of you, there are three rights of ways that I did present to the subcommittee on in February of this year. Obviously, there's been some changeover since then. So just to refresh the subcommittee's awareness, these rights of ways are what I, through research and some investigation, have deemed the closest to the finish line. The only thing standing in between these rights of ways and designation are some administrative processes. So these three are Meadow Lane and Water's Edge. These are in Westerly. And the third is in Scotts Wharf, also known as North Commercial Wharf in Newport. I have a longer presentation on the sort of background history, the land evidence records, and the evidence that we have to point towards these rights of ways as easy designations. I would be happy to share that with anyone who's interested in the subcommittee. But those are the ones that we have that are sort of highest up in the list in terms of readiness for designation. There are also, in addition to that, a number of other rights of ways that are quite close to designation as well. We have one in Warren in particular that has been identified to us. There are a handful in North Kingstown. There are one or two in South Kingstown and quite a few in Narragansett. These towns have provided to us a really great deal of research and background information that is essential to the process here. And we are hoping to bring those things in through the queue as quickly as we can. The Spring Avenue right-of-way matter and the Buttonwoods matter are, they're working their way through the system. They take a lot of heavy lifting. as those of you who have been involved know. So as those things are working their way through the system, we want to be able to at least provide some additional right-of-way designation at the same time. So we're trying to find ones that are the easiest, sort of the least heavy lifts to go through the process as those things work through. So in addition to just designation, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you all about is some of our partnerships. As an agency, the CRMC has always worked very closely with a lot of non-governmental and state agencies as partners. We are working very closely with our partners to do an additional inventory and awareness database management of our rights of ways. There are almost 250 rights of ways throughout the state and one little old me. So we really rely on our partners to help us keep eyes and ears on the ground all over the state to help us to inform us as to what's happening at those rights of ways. So this past spring, Save the Bay actually went out and utilized over 100 volunteers to do an inventory of the rights of ways throughout the state. And they collected a lot of really important data that they brought back to us about which rights of ways need what and how we can help facilitate the changes that are needed to ensure that the rights of ways and the access remains meaningful in these places. And what that inventory and that data has done for us is provide us with a really fruitful pathway to connect with the municipalities on what can be done at these rights of ways as we move forward. And part of that work has been the creation and ordering and distribution of a lot of public access signs. And my colleague Laura Dwyer here has been in the state vehicle delivering right-of-way signs all over the state. We're continuing that effort as the fall moves forward. One of the largest issues that was identified to us through this process was simply a lack of signage. These signs go up, they're yay big. They're unfortunately fairly easy to rip off or damage. So we do spend time replacing signs when they do come down. So that's been a big part of what has been identified to us as an issue. For us, meaningful access means that people know it's there, and the signage is a huge part of that. Additionally, vegetative issues, litter issues, obstruction issues, all that information has been brought to our attention, and we have meetings scheduled throughout the first 2 weeks of September with all of our coastal communities to discuss the outcome of this data and how we can help facilitate addressing the issues that were identified moving forward. The last thing I wanted to talk to you all about before, going through all of this all over again in a few minutes is what we were able to accomplish this summer. We actually had a handful of interns join us this summer, which was wonderful. We had two interns with us through the state internship program, which places students with state agencies throughout the state for 8 weeks in the summer. And then we have established an annual summer internship program with Rhode Island Sea Grant and the Coastal Resources Center through URI's Marine Affairs program and ENRI programs. So we will have an intern with us every summer moving forward that'll help us with a variety of policy issues. This summer, we had a wonderful woman named Emily Gilo, who is a Marine Affairs master's student, and she helped us with 2 projects in particular. One of which was our Adopt and Access program that is written as Adopt a Beach program. Sometimes, I think the reason it's written that way is because one of the ways I asked her to help us sort of think about this process is to do some research as to other states with similar programs. The CRMC has had an Adopt and Access program for the last 15 years. And what that means is rights of ways are able to be adopted by various entities, individuals, community groups, neighborhood groups that want to provide some sort of stewardship for the right of way. It's been a wonderful program, but it's been in need of a bit of an overhaul or review. And we really spent a good deal of my intern's time this summer trying to figure out how to do that. So the stage we're at now is mostly just research. So Emily was able to do a lot of research and have conversations with our local state neighbors on programs similar. You all might have seen sort of Adopt a Highway programs that have a kind of similar structure. So we're just sort of looking to see how we can improve the sort of consistency of this program across the state, making sure that all of our adoptions work similarly, have similar reporting requirements, have similar sort of admissions processes, et cetera. So while this research is being done, we have sort of put a pause on new adoptions. All of the adoptions that already exist throughout the state are maintained. We haven't, shut those down, but we are looking to sort of provide a refresh, a brand new face for this program as we move forward. So we were able to learn quite a bit about how other states operate programs like this, and in doing so, what our state needs, what the individual needs of rights of ways in our municipalities are, and how we can help better meet those needs. The second project that she undertook was helping to revitalize our beach vehicle permitting program. Her supervisors were in our administrative staff, so I know a little bit less about this one, but I know she did some excellent work. Similarly, she did a lot of research focusing on how other states run similar programs, the kinds of impacts that beach vehicle permitting and beach vehicle processes have on beaches in other areas, and how we can learn from our neighbors and see if there are ways that we can reshape our program to better meet the needs of both the users, the recreational users, and also our partners at DEM, who are the ones that are really enforcing this work. So we've updated our brochure. We are still working with DEM to sort of figure out how we can have a more fruitful partnership moving forward with this, and how we can better advertise this program as well. So that is all I'm going to tell you all today, so that we can save, some of the magic for our full committee meeting. But I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has any. Yeah.
Have you looked at the Warwick Police Station for the Buttonwoods? They have.
Oh, yes.
They have a community room and it's fairly close proximity to Buttonwoods.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, that was one of the places we identified. I haven't made any phone calls. If you have any contacts, that would be great.
The mayor.
That'll work. Yeah.
You just need to let me know what days you're looking at so I can talk to them. Also, if you have any backup information on Buttonwood, so I can start reading, get myself prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an expert in the room with us, so Richard Langstaff has quite a bit of information on it as well, but I'd be happy to share with you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions from anyone?
Thanks, Leah.
Yeah, sure. Hi.
What's going on? Over. It's not that right.
We need to address this. Rights of way subcommittee.
I can't think of
There's
this.
nothing else on the agenda.
You can't open our message.
Study.
You've got,
Yes, sir.
Andrew.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to just say something. My name is Tom McAndrew. I represent the residents at Waters Edge Road in Watch Hill. And I met with Leah, who's been very, very accommodating. You should know that. Very professional person. I acknowledge that. But I just want to say to you and to the members, we had an agreement with the town of Westerly and CRMC back in 2000, I'm going to say 2018, when they originally were intended to establish a boat launch facility at that particular site. It's a dead-end road, runs into the water. And we worked with the town manager, Mark Rooney, at that time, the Westerly town manager, and a member of your staff who since retired. I forget his name, David
Reese.
David Reese. Thank you very much. So we worked with him and the town's people. And what we did was we allowed, in a collaborative way, we allowed a recreational facility to come to be established. And we now have stands for canoes and kayaks that are at this particular site. Originally, the boat launch facility didn't meet the standards of the CRMC, so you couldn't do that. And so what the people did in concert with the town was they agreed that they would have a public facility where people could put their kayaks or canoes. And it's monitored by the town's recreational director. So the town of Westerly sort of administers this particular site, if you will. And it is not, and it's been without incident for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And it has historically been a town of Westerly public right of way. It continues to be. It's got signs there that says public right of way. It's got a big piece of concrete there as well. So the people believe that in concert with CRMC and with the town of Westerly, came to an agreement as to how this piece of property was going to be categorized and how it was going to be used. And since that time, it has been without issue in terms of how it's been used and all. And I don't know how many people from the town of Westerly put kayaks there or canoes there. That would be the recreational director who could tell you that. But the people of the community believe they've reached an agreement, and they've honored their terms and conditions of the agreement over these years. And to now seek to change what has historically been a town right of way and designate it something else, when the site itself does not meet CRMC standards for boat launch facility, would be inappropriate. And they want to be able to make sure that they have an opportunity to be heard when and if the subcommittee decides to move forward with this recommendation is coming from CRMC. But I think that you need to know that I think that the fundamental thing here is that people believe they negotiated in good faith, reached an agreement in good faith, have implemented it in good faith. There are no issues whatsoever with respect to it, not one issue. And now all of a sudden, they're being changed. The understanding of the agreement is being changed. So that's really the only point that I want to make. It's worked out very well for everyone, quite honestly. Everyone in the public has an opportunity to use it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else in public comment? Having nothing else to come before us, I entertain a motion to adjourn subcommittee, please. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made in second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay.